Hi, Nick.
Well, good afternoon, morning, and I have no idea what time it is.
Let me just find Jayme.
Hey, Jamie, Happy New Year.
Hi, you too, Nick. Happy New Year. Hello, Terry.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Y'all hanging in okay?
Yeah, yeah. With all
Yeah,
the stuff that's going on, it's a
emotionally.
little scary, but so far we've made it through.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I see everyone in the chat. Thank everybody for showing up and tuning in. Thank you for your
Yeah.
well wishes, Erica. Appreciate you. Um, yeah, it's crazy out there right now in
It's,
LA.
yeah, everyone. So we are alive, and it is crazy out there in LA. And Nick and I were going to do this IG Live to give you more information on how to be successful in voiceover and when this catastrophe fires happened in the Los Angeles County area, we decided to change it up and really be a support group for each other. So Jamie's going to be manning the chat, and let's talk about, because you can still do voiceovers, um, how you protect yourself. We definitely want to know if anyone who is joining us or has a friend who lost equipment, lost their studio. There are definitely support groups out there for voiceover people. Um, I know Jayme is active in some of them, and Nick might have some information too. So um, we're with you, and we want to be as supportive as we can to you in this time of need. It's really bad times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Difficult, challenging
The
times.
good news is
for sure.
we'll get through it. It's just really hard in the meantime. Just know that you got support. You got a lot of people that are pulling for you if you're in a bad situation. Um, I know it's hard to wrap your head around it. That's just for now. Let's get you through it and make sure everything is back to normal as soon as possible.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well said, Nick. And for everyone who's tuning in, I know a couple of people have been posting in the chat. Glad to see you guys are safe. All of us are very currently safe right now in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas. We've been monitoring the fires and everything and are, prepared to do what we need to do, but we're all okay. Thank you for checking in, first and foremost. And we're sending our love and good thoughts to everyone who's tuned in here and will be watching this as well. I would love to go ahead and just take this moment to share a few resources. When I'm done, I will put them in the chat as well, and we'll be sharing them on my Instagram stories as well for people to see later on. But some good news for everybody to start. As of this morning, the Pacific Palisades fire has been contained by 8%, and the Eaton Canyon fire has been contained by 3%. So we're no longer at 0% containment. They're working really hard on it, and some of the evacuation areas have been lifted in those surrounding areas, which is hopeful. Um, for anyone who needs resources for monitoring the fires, the LA Fire Department, all of their social media accounts are very active and up to date with that. Also, I have this as well. The Watch Duty app is a free app you can download, and that will show you the evacuation areas, the status of the fire. It has up to the minute information to keep everybody safe. Um, and then, as far as some resources, if you guys either need aid or you know someone that needs aid or you would like to donate and help the NAVA organization, I have this posted in my personal Instagram account as well. And again, I'll share all of this for everybody here. They have a link on navavoices.org where you can either apply to request aid or you can send donations. It's for the CAL FIRE fund that they're raising. So they're working to do emergency financial aid for voice actors, equipment donations, emergency resources, And I know I saw in a Facebook post that Tim Friedlander, who's one of the founders of Nava, he's on his way back down to LA from San Francisco right now. He should be back in town by Sunday. And due to the help of the team over at Helping Hands Cedro Woolley back up north, he's bringing over about 4,095 masks for anybody in need. So if anybody is in need of some masks, certainly reach out to Tim for that. Nava is also paired with Voice Actors for LA. I'll share the link for that as well. There's a link tree, VAs for LA. They're working to raise funds for voice actors if you need equipment, because that got lost in a studio, resources for your booth, your home, any of that as well. So those are a few resources for that, as well as community. Like Terry had mentioned, I'm in a bunch of different voiceover Facebook groups and things like that. And it's been, for everyone who's a part of those, it's been really heartwarming to see everybody showing up for each other there. People are checking in, making sure everyone's safe. For people who have lost their homes or know somebody that have, people have been posting that in the chat and asking for certain items that people are in need of to be donated, and people are showing up and figuring out how they can get together with the community for that and offering their homes as shelter, their booths as well if needed, if people need to come record. And it's not only just voice actors, agencies and managers and everyone's affected by this as well. And I know personally, I don't know if this is the same for you, Nick, but my agents have reached out during this time saying, we understand with the fires, if you guys aren't able to get your auditions in for these particular jobs, we would much rather you be safe. So everybody is being incredibly understanding during this
Yeah,
time as well, because everyone's safety is the main concern.
Yeah.
right. We also on Berlin Casting Instagram have been posting Nava posts. So check in there. So I know personally I'm going to donate. All right. Nick, do you want to add anything to that?
You know, it's amazing. The voiceover community in general. I've always said they're the nicest, most genuine, down to earth people you will ever meet, and this is proof of that. Um, yes, we are in a very competitive business, but you know what? It's one of those things where, man, if I didn't get the job, I'm just happy you get. There's that really mutual respect and like for each other that I really, really appreciate in this business. And when it really comes down to it, they step up. And this is proof. I love being part of this community.
Everyone also, when you go out, wear your masks because the air quality is very
Horrible.
bad and you don't want to hurt your lungs.
Yeah. There are a lot of toxins that were released through the fire. When you think about paint on the buildings that burned, insulation in the walls that burned, all of this stuff, very, very highly toxic. So please, 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 when you go out, I know it may not seem like it, but do yourself a favor, wear a mask and be protected.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know, Jayme, do you see anything in the chats? I don't see anyone giving any particular information yet.
No, I don't see any yet. I know one person had made a comment just about the animals and stuff as well. And while this chat is primarily voiceover based, a lot of people have been sharing on social media different organizations and resources, both for wildlife and for people. I know the American Red Cross is doing a lot for people. So if anyone's interested in how they can help or get relief through those, I would encourage you to take a look because it's all over social media right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
what Nick and Terry said, yeah, definitely take care of yourselves, take care of your voices, obviously with all the particles and the toxins in the air. Plus it's just so dry anyway with it being the winter. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely
And
look out
also
for yourselves
bottled
and stay
water.
hydrated.
Bottled
Yeah, drink
water.
bottled
Don't even
water.
be drinking tap water because those toxins that are in the air will be settling into the reservoirs and stuff. And for a while, it's going to be taxing the system to keep the water as pure as it can be.
Yeah, exactly. Particularly in the heavily affected areas, I know for sure they definitely warned against that. So stay hydrated. if you are inside, don't open your windows. If you have air purifiers, I definitely recommend having those running as well to keep the air quality inside your places safe. And yeah, just take care of your vocal health as well, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a time, it's a perfect example that life is, there's always joy and sadness going on at the same time, life and death, birth and death. And I think this is one of those times because I know we're still casting and the auditions are going out and the requests are going out, the auditions are coming in. And it's just so weird because across town, or someone who we know who knows someone, they lost their home, they lost everything they have.
Yeah.
It's a lot to cope with, but I think we're experiencing as a community real life now, and we're trying to keep things going as other things are falling apart. And as they're falling apart, there are committees of people who are stepping up and helping those people to rebuild it. It's really something.
Yeah, it's tough, when you're in it. It's kind of like when something happens to you physically and you're in shock. And then you get through that, and then you have to recover from the injury. And you get through that, then you have to go through physical therapy to rebuild your strength, and then you finally get back to normal life. And I think that's where we're at, is we're just getting over the shock. We're getting back to figuring out what we need to do. But as is the case, everything around us, the world continues to rotate. And we just need to kind of get back in sync and remerge with the rest of the world. And that's where we're at right now.
Right. So Jayme, do you want to man the anything if people have suggestions or?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I'll be manning the chat. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to put these resources and links in there for anybody who needs it. If anyone has any questions or any resources that we haven't covered that you would like to share, please feel free to pop those in the chat as well.
Yep.
And yeah, we're sending a lot of love and comfort and support to you guys. So I'm going to monitor that and let them continue to keep the mantle going on this conversation.
We know a lot. We don't know everything. So whatever you guys can add to it, we'd love to see.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Nick and I are here to also give you voiceover hints and how to be successful. People are getting better and better at this. So if you're at the beginning of your career and still need to learn how to be more competitive, yes, you do need to learn how to be more competitive, because the auditions that I'm receiving are just wonderful. They're really, really great auditions. And we want you to be one of those people that gives great auditions. So Nick, you've been doing this for a long time and you're very successful. And it takes a certain knowing what to do to stay successful, stay current. Any hints that you can give the folks here that have joined us right now?
Really, more than anything, and I know this is maybe something a lot of people don't think about, you need to do this every day. You need to be doing something actively every day in your business as a voice actor, whether it's updating demos, whether it's reaching out to clients and staying, nurturing those relationships, whether it's just talking to your agent. Remember, your agent works for you, not the other way around. You don't get 90% of their money. They get 10% of yours. So without you, they've got nothing. So reach out to those people and, nurture those relationships. It needs to be a collaborative effort. And the more people you have on your team pushing forward, the better off you're going to be. So do what you can to stay sharp. Make sure you're practicing and auditioning correctly. Do everything you can to get those turned around as quickly as possible. Don't Stay on top of your stuff. Don't, this is a very competitive business. And if you kind of lag along and think, oh yeah, I'll get that, it's due tomorrow, I'll get it tomorrow morning. Get it in today. If you got it now and you have the time, do it now. So little things like that, but it's something you need to do every day. You need to put some effort toward this every day, just like any job. If you didn't show up for 3 or 4 days in a row at any job, you'd probably be fired. Here, you don't have somebody that actually tells you you're fired. That shows up in not getting calls, not getting auditions, not getting jobs.
So I found out something interesting recently. In fact, during the holidays, when the agents were having parties, which I went to, so I got to talk to many, this is for voiceover actors. And I found out that the direction on my breakdowns, I put Terry Berland casting direction. And through conversations with several actors, I found out that most of the agents take my name off. They take the name off of the casting place and they make us anonymous to you. Well, I don't like that. How do you guys feel as actors? I mean, I feel you should know who you're getting it from. You get to know us. You try to get to know us. You try to get to know our sensitivities, because some of us we all work a little differently and like different things.
Yep.
So what I started doing now on the breakdowns since the holidays is I put a note on my breakdowns to the agents saying, please, I am requesting that my name stay on the direction on the scripts to the actors. I want them to know who they're auditioning for. Nick is an actor. How do you feel? And I want to know how all of you feel who are listening.
It's very, very important to me to know who that is coming from, because even let's take it out of the casting realm, but back in the day when we were going to agents' offices to do our reads, if we knew who the ad agency was that sent us the copy, we would treat something very, at least I would, how I would break down the copy and how I would read it would be, if you got it from Gray Advertising, it was kind of, nothing against Gray, but when they sent something out, it was kind of gray, whereas if you got something from Saatchi and Saatchi or, Goodby Silverstein or whatever.
And Sunny.
Yeah. They have different benchmarks in their own work that you can look at and go, okay, I know what this person wants. I know what this person wants. So it makes it easier for you to make those choices in delivering your audition. That anonymity removes that from the equation, and it kind of, I think, milk toasts everybody's read, because they're all trying to fit it, rather than being niche and knowing what they're doing, they're all trying to cover this. And so I think that's a very, very good point, and I'm glad you are reaching out to the agents and letting them know that you would prefer, I don't want to say you need to strong arm anybody, but hey, if I see this is going out without my name on it, I'm just going to stop sending it to you.
Yeah. I'll never know unless the actors tell me, but anyway, I have ways of finding out. I said, why did you start doing this? And they said, some casting directors were asked to be anonymous. They don't want annoying emails from actors. I said, no actor is going to email me. It's relationships. You're taking away the relationship, just what you said, Nick. I think relationships is so important.
Absolutely.
I love the points that you brought up. So anyway, hopefully that's a change. Maybe I'll start a trend. Who knows?
Well, and that's the whole point, that, things have a tendency to change. And based on the reaction of the general community to that change, it either continues on that path or it's corrected. And I love the fact that you're taking the time to correct that. I would love to know who I'm reading for. It makes a huge difference.
Does your agency also take off who it's from?
Nope.
The direction?
I know who it's coming from.
Oh, good. Excellent. I don't see any comments about this, so I can't respond to anyone who's with us. Sometimes we do Zoom, invited Zoom, and we can communicate with you, or you can communicate back to us better, but we didn't do it this time. This was kind of a rush due to the circumstances.
Amy in Santiago said he stumbled upon this. I'm glad you stumbled in.
Yes.
Glad you're here. Sometimes a good pratfall can work for you. So.
I'm good
No,
at improv now. We all have to change. We all have to.
Oh, yeah.
We have to be very flexible.
Yeah.
If you get auditions Friday at 5 o'clock, it's not because I waited or another casting director waited till the end of Friday to give it to you. Believe me, it takes us sometimes 3 or 4 hours to prep the, what we're going to send out. And we don't always, I get the green light on Friday at 3 o'clock or 4:30.
I was going to say, it actually is because you waited for your client to give you the information you needed to do the casting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thing that when I'm teaching, Nick and I teach together, and we all evolve, and I've evolved to a point where I describe a spot and the ad agency marketing spot, that it has an emotional feel to it. So one of the things I've been teaching is to understand the emotional feel of a spot, and not only to look at the direction, because a lot of times the direction is a push and pull, and it's telling you one thing and then contradicting itself.
We want
Yeah,
a false person.
Yeah, read the direction, but understand the emotional feel so you know which way to lean emotionally in your choice, in your feel. So that's one big hint that I have.
Well, it really that leans into the whole idea of this is voice acting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even when I got into the business years ago, the transition was started then away from announcers and into real person conversation.
Yeah.
Now we're taking real person conversation, just understand what that is in the context of commercial. A commercial real person is very different from a real person.
Yeah.
Although one of the things you are very good at is finding people who sound very real. That is what I've come to find to be your real major niche is finding new talent that most that aren't the average run of the mill that they hear all the time.
But one of the things that you just mentioned, there is a difference. Even if you sound very real, you have to know, for instance, in voiceover, a pause is much more condensed than a real life pause. So there are voiceover techniques that you have to know, even sounding real. And it used to be that I could see someone in the theater, in a play, or on a TV show and search them out, how to reach them and have them try out for an audition. But that's very difficult now because anyone who's doing voiceover needs a home studio.
Yeah.
Which doesn't have to be elaborate, but you need the paid source connect and you need equipment, because most of the time you don't go into a studio. Although the jobs that I do, if it's LA, you can come in to record, but you have to audition from
You got to get there
home.
first.
Yeah, and the sound has to be right.
Yeah. I see Chris's question about, does the emotional feel trump the contradiction in the description? There's one of the things you learn to have to be very adept at is interpreting what is being asked of you. And in most cases, what I will tell you is you got to get an idea of what the feel is. And yes, I think that feel is going to be the leading and driving factor in how you approach that copy. So, and if there is a contradiction of sorts, cover it by doing two different
Yeah,
takes. One that leans into one part of the contradiction, one that leans into the other part.
right. For instance, if the direction is positive with empathy, so you have a choice. You know, if you lean too much in the empathy direction, then you don't sound positive enough. So you have to really look at the spot. And I love what Nick said about two different reads, because don't look at it so black and white. Understand. If you really understand the spot, you will understand possibilities too, and nuances, different nuanced ways that you can go, which in one hand can feel a little, oh darn, now I'm more confused. But the complexity, actually look at the complexity as opportunities to play and give you room to go one way or the other.
Yeah, and also, by submitting two takes, you've just doubled your chances of booking. You also get a chance to show a little bit of range. It's like, oh, he can do this. Oh, he can do that. She's really good at that and this, so let them know that you are versatile. And I think somebody was just asking if they think that the announcers are going to come back. They've never really gone away,
Right.
but they've been refined a little bit. There's still the hard sell announce out there. It's still being done from time to time. Sometimes it's done in a parody. It just, being able to have the flexibility to do the different styles is what gives you a range of application in what we do, what we're set out on.
Yeah. For those of you who are with us who have a basic voiceover knowledge, actually, for the new year, Nick and I are starting an intermediate advanced branding and demo prep. That's January 15th. What does that mean? We bring you this branding that we do, brings you to, it's just astounding, the changes as you work with Nick through the weeks, the changes that occur through this branding technique that we have. And then if you need a demo, you're already prepared for a demo. Many people come to us who already have their first demos, and we actually, if you have one, we listen to it, and we can even give you advice to upgrade yourself because you will be different when you leave from when you came in. Very, very astoundingly different.
Well, and I have to say, what Terry does over the course of the time with the branding is, I say I'm always amazed. I shouldn't be, because it's
I'm
what she
amazed.
does.
It amazes me.
But everybody that that comes in and goes through the process and does the work, you sit there and you go, wow, you see this transformation. And what it really boils down to is you understanding where you fit into the marketplace and how you've got something to sell and where to sell it. And that's really the thing. Is I always tell people, it's, I make a joke of it, but it's like there's a reason why they don't sell bologna in the soap aisle at the store. Nobody's looking for it there. That and it smells after 3 days, but that's a whole different issue. But the thing is, you want to put yourself in a place where, somebody is walking along and they see the shelf of the things that they want to buy and they see the different options. They go, oh, there it is, and they grab it. That's what the branding does for you. You want to make sure that people know what it is that you do so that you become the go-to person for them in that area. And long term, your money isn't made off of the auditions, it's off the return business you get from booking those auditions. So let's get things rolling so you know what you're doing and you have a clear vision of where you're going to fit in the marketplace.
Yep, that's January 15th, next week.
Next Wednesday, yeah.
Next Wednesday. We have a couple of spots, left. I know January's halfway through.
I got to start looking for Valentine's Day cards, for goodness sake. Forget that, I should get my Christmas card.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's really it's an amazingly fast 6 weeks. I always remark on the very first night of class how I sit there and go, wow, we got some great talent here to work with, and we got a lot of things to accomplish. And I blink my eyes and go, wow, we're already at the end of the 6 weeks, but that transformation is always, as somebody who coaches people, it's just so gratifying to see that. It's kind of like planting a seed and seeing the blossom come up. It's like, oh my gosh, isn't that incredible? I love it. So yeah, we have some really, really great people we've worked with, and we're looking forward to working with a lot of other great people in the future.
Yeah, again, if you don't need equipment for this, a lot of people who have equipment, some don't. Nick helps you with equipment. Some people start ordering their equipment during. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. And I still don't see that anyone here was affected by the fires. But again, we are here to help. And it's just, we're going to keep going. We're here to train you and have you be successful.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the biggest thing for most people is to get an idea of where they fit in. It's kind of an open-ended, nebulous thing to a lot of people, and they really do struggle with that. And same thing applies in any business. I mean, when you start doing voiceover, you're opening a business, and knowing what your market niche is really important, because the last thing you want to do is open an ice cream shop in Fairbanks, Alaska. Well, maybe they have them. I'm sure they don't like ice cream up there. But yeah, I mean, there's certain things where you're going to do better in certain places where your market is waiting for you. And so that really is something that helps make that decision easier for you to understand.
Yeah. Also, nurture relationships. Social media is a great place to nurture relationships. Personally, Berland Casting, very, very active on Instagram. I get to see you actors. I get to see what you do. LinkedIn has been also, especially for the voiceover community, very active. And because of this social media, I find that someone posts something, I feel I know them, and I'll make a little remark back. And so look for your relationships and look to social media for relationships, business relationships, voiceover business relationships. Yeah. So that's another hint.
And I know it may sound a little odd to some people that that's a way to establish a relationship, but I actually have a client that I've worked with for 28 years. I have yet to meet them face to face. And they've paid me a lot of money over the years. And, it's like, I talked to her the other day. She's an old friend. I haven't an image in my mind. I have no idea whether it's right or not.
I have a funny story. I don't think I told you, Nick. I had to go to urgent care. It was nighttime and my toe went under. The sidewalks are like the roots from the trees, the side. My foot went under it and I actually fell on my face and broke. I heal so well. This was like a week ago Thursday, and I had a cut here, and I went to urgent care, and first the nurse came in and cleaned it out and said, hold this gauze, don't open your eyes because the skin will move. My eyes are closed, and the doctor knocks on the door and says, Terry Berland, this is Dr. I'm not going to say the name out loud. I'll tell you later. I took your voiceover class. And you're on
Oh, I think I know who it is.
Meanwhile, my eyes are closed, and I said, you're kidding. And I knew who she was immediately.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Finally, I was able to open my eyes, and I said, Laura, are you really a doctor, or are you just playing one?
Talk about method acting.
And we had never met before in person.
Yeah, no. It's fun.
So that's when we
That's
met.
fun. That is very funny. Yeah, no, we have, and it's amazing how many different people come to us who have very successful careers. They're in the process of deciding they want to make a transition, and so they start. And sometimes they have an exit strategy that's a couple years long, and it's really good because it gives them time to work on stuff and get proficient and get ready to go. And then we also have people that come in who are ready to go, who really want to jump into it with both feet and start swimming hard. And that's great.
Exactly. Well, guys, if you're ready to go, January, we're here for you. I think this was a really nice get-together, community get-together. I'm very happy.
I just have a quick question. Do we have any questions that we haven't answered for anybody, just to make sure that we're not, because I'm seeing things scroll by, but I'm not fast.
Yeah.
You'd think I'd be better reading.
Jayme's not texting us anything.
With any questions? Okay. I just want to make sure we got everybody covered.
Okay. Very happy New Year. We'll have get-togethers a lot during the year. There's Jayme. No more questions for now. Okay, guys.
So yeah, if you want to check out next Wednesday's class, just go to voiceprintwest.com. Look up the registration if you're interested. Pop us a note, and we'll get back to you and see if we have some room left in the class. We're always around, so just know that we're here if you need us. We would love to see you on Wednesday, and everybody, please stay safe. Follow the things we were talking about at the very beginning of the Instagram today, and stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you all soon.
Great. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it.
Have a great day.